movie. I
What's
uh,
what's
so I watched it with the old man. I was hanging
hmm
out with him, um, and he slept through most of it, But
That's the way he does it.
that's how he does it. That's how he enjoys his movies, and that's fine. But I really liked it. I was like into it the whole time. It turned me into a Glenn Powell fan. I'm a Glenn Powell fan now.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
like, this guy is funny. I appreciate him. I would hang out with Glenn Powell 100%.
yeah, and yeah, it was really good. I liked the different roles that he was playing and the
Dude,
context behind why he was doing what he was doing.
it was great. Yeah, I love his little characters.
Yeah.
Speedboat. Like Miami Vice. And there was obviously, I liked the love interest. It was a good, like, good little, I don't know, it was believable. The ending,
Yeah.
the ending is where it kind of lost me. The ending, I mean, I liked that I didn't really know where it was going, but the ending was like, I was like, I don't know. I was expecting
I
something else to happen or expecting something more, I guess, and it kind of
yeah,
just ended.
I felt like I didn't know, man, that they had put themselves in a little bit of a hole, and I didn't know how exactly they were going to get out of it. And then they're like,
Right.
we'll just kill him, we'll just murder him, and
Just
then
murder him. Yeah, murder is the
we'll be
way
good.
out of this. And I was thinking, like,
Apparently,
this girl. I'm like, man, what are they gonna like? Because she showed signs of just like, you know, in like a typical movie when they would do stuff like that, I feel like they would make the girl turn into some kind of unhinged, where you're just like, I can't be with this woman. She's a little bit,
psychologically
yeah,
deranged.
she's a little bit off the walls, and you know what, they
Right.
made it work, and I appreciate that. You know what, I like the zigzag. I like making me, tricking my, subverting my expectations. I guess that's probably the best
Yeah,
way to put it.
it might not be super believable to be like, oh yeah, she just had a problem with this man who she was married to in an awkward situation, and her solution out of it was to just murder him. That might not be the most believable thing, but it made for something entertaining. So
And
whatever.
I mean, you hear about this in real life. Well, somebody was just telling me about. That was Dad. He was telling me about. Oh yeah, yeah. He shared. It was a reel he sent. I don't
And
know if you
Instagram,
saw
yeah,
it
he sent the
with the
same thing to
pillow
me.
one.
It said this content cannot be displayed or something like that, so I
Oh,
didn't have anything to watch. So
he showed it to me, and he was like, it was like a guy wakes up with a spot, like a brown spot on his pillow, and like a really bad headache, and looks to his wife. He's like, I need to go to the hospital. Like he felt blood in his ear, and they take her to the hospital, or take him to the hospital, and they realize that he's a bullet in his head, and
oh, I did
then
see something else. Yeah, I saw this in a different context.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. She had tried to kill him in his sleep.
she tried to kill him, and she was just like, yeah, I tried to kill him, and then didn't. It felt very similar to Madison from the movie, where she was like not thinking things through completely, and just looking for an easy way out. Some people just look for the easiest way out, and they're just like, well, this is easier than just getting a divorce, I guess, just
Right,
murdering them.
man. If you say his name enough, he'll show up.
Yeah, I
Isn't
think it
that
was three
crazy?
times. That's all you need.
I'm gonna tell
Answer it.
him. Nah, I'm just gonna tell him we're on the podcast. Podcasting dad. Uh yeah, welcome back to the barn session. We are a man short right now, and there's a reason for it. We're hoping that he's going to be on later, and if he is, well, we'll save the reasoning for his absence until then. It's something to celebrate, but it is going to make podcasting a little bit more difficult. And hey, that's just the way it is. Life
We
goes
love
on.
obstacles. We
Oh
love
yeah, dude,
adversity.
I love finding ways through challenges.
Yeah, it's a way to be a better person, rise above it.
Learn
That's
and
what we're
grow.
gonna do.
Absolutely.
Speaking of that,
So, yeah, man, we just had an event, non-Olympic World Team Trials, 4 weight classes for 3 styles. So we have 12 world team members, and it's 12 hammers. But the event this weekend, the matchups, I think it was on par with the Olympic trials, or close to it, maybe. I mean, there were phenomenal matchups.
I agree. I think the finals were probably better in my well, the men's freestyle at least were I would say better, more exciting matches than maybe. I don't know. I have to think about it. Really, the only ones that I remember that were memorable for me from the Olympic trials were 57 kilos, and I guess DT and
Yeah,
Brooks
I was
were
gonna say
good
that
too.
one, right? Yeah, because we've seen Dake and Nulf. We've seen Kyle Snyder make an Olympic team. We've and
Zane kind
Paris
of
and
handled,
Silmer. Yeah,
yeah,
Zane. Yeah. It was kind of like, oh, we've seen this story before,
yeah.
but getting to see uh, Marcus Blaze, a senior in high school, going into his senior year. I guess they've started it. He beat 3 prior world team members to make the finals against Vito. Not the most thriller point wise match, but a lot of flurries and a lot of hand fight and a lot of scrapping. It was awesome to watch. Uh, James Green, Alec Pantaleo. I love James Green at 70 kilos. I want to see more of it. Uh, yeah, I mean,
I mean, he
it was
looks
just
better than ever.
yeah. And hey, if you get that hip surgery and things feel better afterwards, it's great to see him back on the mat, just
Had
competing.
he ever
Awesome.
beaten Pantaleo before? I think Pantaleo has beaten him before too.
Pantaleo, I know has beaten him. I don't know if he'd beaten Pantaleo before. Uh, I think they actually wrestled at non-Olympic, or no, they wrestled at trials in 2021. I think
At 65?
Green. No, not
Oh, we're
Olympic
not on.
trials, world
Yeah,
trials.
world trials. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Green beat him there. That was the year that Pantaleo was seeded number one, and I was kind of high on him doing well. And I think they wrestled, or maybe Green beat Jo, and then Pantaleo lost to Deacon. I can't remember, but it was something
Who
like
made the
that.
team that
Green,
year?
I
Green
believe.
did.
Or no, maybe it was Zane. I can't remember.
I think maybe you're right. Maybe Green did, and he lost to a Russian. Um, I can't remember which Russian.
Let's take a look. Uh, Dayton Fix, Yanni Diakmahalis, yeah, James Green, and James wrestled Deacon in the finals.
Yeah, because we were. I mean, Ryan and Dad and I all went to that. That's right.
Nice, must be nice.
We were. Yeah, we were kicking it. You're probably studying or something.
I was in
Something
school,
lame.
right? Yeah, September 11th, 2021. I was in school, trying to get my degree. But yeah, Green is awesome to see back. Jordan Burroughs is back on a team, and David Taylor's on a team. So it's Vito, and then a throwback team
Bunch of
to
old dudes.
a bunch of oldies. It's I kind of like it. I
I love it. Yeah, it's great.
watching David Taylor. It felt like a completely different David Taylor from what we've seen before. Just his mannerisms. He's not hustling to the mat, bouncing, ready to wrestle, and doing all that stuff. He's kind of just walking out, and it's almost like he's shrugging his shoulders through everything. And he's
He's
like,
got that coach confidence now for sure.
dude,
He's exuding a confidence.
it's Coach Dave now. It's not like Magic Man. It's not David Taylor. It's Coach Dave, and he's going out there. He's like they're going out of bounds. He's like putting his hand on Zahid's back. He's like, all right, let's get back to the center of the mat. He's like helping up his opponents off the mat, just very casually doing whatever he's doing. Trent Hadley's like crashing out after he lost a match, which again that was a great match.
Yeah, I didn't
And
get to see that match,
dude, if
unfortunately.
go back and watch it, it's a I Trent Hadley's awesome for wrestling, and I want to keep seeing him. I think as time goes on, he has better and better chances of making the world team.
10-6 is for sure better than I thought he'd do.
Right? Yeah, I mean, yeah, he did really good against David. So yeah, David Taylor was awesome. Jordan Burroughs was awesome. Yeah, we got a really good team. I think we got a good shot at getting medals at all these weights. If not, we're in contention for winning all of them too. So
Yeah. it'll be interesting to see. I mean, Sadulayev has kind of said that he would go. He will go if he can.
Dude, that would be the craziest turn of events and the best outcome that we could get from what happened at the Olympics.
Yeah,
I would
and
love
I
that.
mean, and no word. I don't think it. I haven't heard anything about Sidkov, but I have heard that he's walked back on his statement about leaving the sport.
I mean, that's
So
awesome.
he could come back. He could be.
Yeah.
It could be. We could have Burroughs, Sidikov, and David Taylor and Abdul Rashid Sadulayev, which
Dude.
would be legendary.
Oh my god. Yeah, that would be phenomenal. Because we thought we
Mm.
had our opportunity to see Sadulayev Taylor all those years ago. We thought we had lost it, but if it's back, I'm game. And it's crazy to think that Sadulayev was like, yeah, I could wrestle 92 kilos. Like that's 5 kilos above what you normally wrestle these days. So it's interesting that you can
David.
just Sadulayev,
Oh,
right? He's
5
normally a
kilos below.
97 kilo. Yeah. Like I
Yeah,
get
he.
bumping up is also I don't know. Dropping is especially impressive.
Well, I mean, he's always been a pretty thick boy at 97. He's not the biggest 97.
Right. His frame's not huge.
I always felt like I was like, man, he doesn't really look like a 90. I mean, I guess he got big enough, but I mean, obviously, I liked seeing him at 86 more than 97. He was just more exciting, but that probably
Dynamic.
sucked to me.
Yeah. Probably.
So 92 feels like a good weight for him, and yeah, him and David Taylor that would be epic.
Sick. Yeah. Let's
What
make
are you
that.
more excited? What would you be more excited for? Sidikov Burrows? I'm probably
I we
DT Sadulayev.
yeah, because we've seen Sidakov Burrows, and it is an interesting match, and I will happily see it, especially with just the mental thought of like if Jordan Burroughs goes out there, wrestles Sidakov, beats him, and then leaves his shoes on the mat, it's one of the greatest stories to tell from the sport.
Yes.
But when thinking about just watching 6 minutes of wrestling, David Taylor Sadulayev would be top level. It doesn't get better
Doesn't get better
for this opportunity.
for that weight, for sure. At
Yeah.
that size, yeah.
Yeah, I would love that. Do
Indeed.
do you want to break down some of these brackets and kind of highlight some of the cool things that happened?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Okay.
Start at the
So
bottom.
we mentioned it earlier. Marcus Blaze won the challenge tournament, and then he had Vito in the finals. Blaze's path was Kyle Berwick. He beat him 6-2. Beat Seth Gross 7-5. Nashon Garrett 5-0, and Dayton Fix 3-2. So that's the national champ, and is he a 4-time finalist? Fix?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! And all of those guys have made previous senior world teams. Gross, Garrett, and Fix. Fix
I
is a
mean, and Nishan
silver
is
medalist.
what? He's got a third, second, first, and like a third, I think. I don't remember what he got his senior year. No, wait.
His senior
No,
year
no,
was the
no,
year he
no.
won it.
Yeah.
His
Okay, so
sophomore year was the year that he didn't do well.
where he got beat by Moisey.
Yeah.
My fan's
Actually, no,
not down. I mean,
that might have been his junior year. I'll look it up while you fix your fan. Biggest issue is I can't remember what years that was, but I can guess. 2015, maybe. Maybe
what'd you say?
2015. I can't remember what year this all
2015
happened.
was when the
Okay, so
Moisey
I
happened.
did guess. Yeah, I did guess 2015. It looks like Nashon Garrett. Well, this bracket doesn't have
I know he got
a
third his
final.
freshman year. Do you know that?
Yeah, he got third his freshman year, and then I
Second
think
his junior year,
his
maybe.
no, I think he got second his sophomore year, and then I
And
think his
then
junior year, yeah, was when he lost to Zeke Moisey, and
yeah.
I had the bracket pulled up, but it didn't have the final match results,
Hmm.
so that's frustrating. Maybe Bleacher Report can help me out. Those are team results, and those are tweets. I don't really need tweets. Whatever. But yeah, I mean, for a high schooler, I think he's 17 turning 18 this year, I think. Uh those are crazy results. He had a
Yeah,
crazy match with Seth Gross. Was losing 5-2 with 20 seconds left and scored 5 points. Absolutely insane. He Nashon Garrett didn't score any points on him.
yeah,
5-0.
yeah. I mean, dude, his defense is just he is so stingy. And I guess
And
yeah. I mean, Deshaun is he kind of
it's
like
so
lets it fly.
it's so crazy to think he's so stingy and he keeps people from scoring on him that well. That guy from Japan put 7-8 points up on him.
Yeah, he just blew
So
through him.
right, just overpowered him. So I'm hoping that we see him represent Japan at this upcoming tournament.
Yeah,
I would love that.
yeah. I think Vito would have. I think it'd be a much different match. I think it's not I
No,
think
right,
there's not like a lot of like the transitive property there. I think like
right.
that match was like kind of. I think if Blaze wrestled him again, it would be closer.
Yeah, I think people would call that a style matchup too, a
Yeah,
little bit. Yeah,
right. The
because
gross
Vito
match,
has that
dude.
dude.
What?
Yeah, well, Vito has that dynamic.
He's
He
not
can
gonna get blown through either.
he can switch things up on you for
Yeah,
sure. So, but yeah, the gross match. Tell me about it.
I was man. I picked gross because whatever. Did you put our picks out? Did you do that?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't end up doing that.
No, I was busy.
Well, Ryan and I both picked guys from our graduating high school classes, which I thought was fun. That was a fun little thing to do.
That was great. Yeah.
And Gross was my pick, and I thought he had a great. I was like him against Blaze, great matchup for Seth, and it went well. It went as I kind of thought it would, and then for what was like 30 seconds left, he lets Blaze in on a shot, which fine, totally fine. Who cares? He's great in this position. And then Blaze hits that crazy it's like it was like I don't know what you would call that, and I don't know how it feels a little like unfair, but also he took a shot, he took a risk, and I get why you would score that 2 points, Blaze. You know what I'm talking about, where he got to the leg in the kind of toadstool waterfall position, and then like in that situation, you can go like monkey roll, right? Like
Right.
if the guy's in on your leg, you go monkey roll, and
Right.
that's 2 points for you. In this situation, Blaze initiated the roll and got
Right.
2 points for himself. The whistle I think went to Gross, and
Yeah.
then the chair and the judge went to Blaze. And at first I was like, no way, that was like a monkey roll. Like, I mean, it didn't look like Gross really hit him. It looked like he hit a one-handed monkey roll,
Eh,
and and I was like, I don't know how he did that, but that's his points. And then I rewatched it and I was like, oh, Blaze just initiated that.
right. That's why they would go with Blaze versus Gross is because
Yeah,
they can when you can visibly see, oh, the initiation was caused by that guy, you got to go with it. Whenever it's
right,
like, they both went, I'm not sure, you give it to the person who's in the riskier position, which is the guy who's in on the shot.
right.
So
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. And then he scored, and then I scored outright those two. He exposed him and then gutted him twice. I don't know, but yeah, it was impressive.
yeah.
Um, yeah,
But
but
so something about Gross being able to put up 5 points, which is more than Blaze gave up in any other match. Uh, it kind of shows that Seth Gross, the one piece of merit that you can give him that is irrefutable, he can score on people. He can put up points. It's just kind of being able to not give up points. But he is capable of scoring on everybody. So
dude, and we would have seen if he had won that match, we would have gotten to see him and Nishan have the craziest matches,
they're so much fun.
dude. And then we could have seen maybe him and Fix. They've had a crazy series, and I
Yeah,
don't think he's ever wrestled Vito, which I'm sure would have been out of
dude, that would have
control.
been crazy. Yeah,
Yeah. So, oh well. I mean, he'll stick around. I'm sure he's not going anywhere.
yeah. Hopefully,
But Blaze, dude, like, I feel like, dude, his IQ is crazy. Like,
crazy high for a high schooler.
for a high schooler, or just like, I mean, like what he did like against Vito in the like those last 15 seconds where he got to the leg and then knew immediately to just drive him out as
Right.
fast as possible so he could have a shot at taking him down
A
and winning.
takedown. Yeah.
It's like man, like I don't know, I just couldn't imagine having that like in that situation, like being having that kind of like uh awareness
Awareness
is yeah,
for sure.
very impressive, very
For
impressive.
sure. Yeah.
But I do think if I were to say one thing about Marcus Blaze, he keeps it way too close to the chest. Like his first match. Did you watch his first match?
Against Berwick, I did not know.
So he's losing on criteria 2-2 with I don't know a minute and a half left, and Berwick goes for a head pinch, which was totally
Oh,
unnecessary. Like had him in a front headlock, they come up to their feet, and Berwick just hits him in a head pinch, which obviously didn't work, and lost
right.
like 6-2. But like that's a match where like I'm sure he would have gotten into a flurry and then gotten the lead and like edged him out or whatever. But down the line, you compared it to kind of like Dane Fix,
Yeah.
and I was thinking Nick Soriano. So similar thing, like
Okay.
where it's like these guys
Stingy.
are stingy and like yeah, they play it close and they're gonna get bit, one of these days. And Blaze is he's built so different from those guys. You would think that he wouldn't wrestle so much like that. He would think he'd be able to like he used to hit that drag a lot, and
Right.
you don't really see him hit the drag anymore. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm sure once he gets to college, he'll pick up his offense.
Right. It, as long as because he can, there is a chance that he goes down that path of being a a one score Andy, where it's like I'm there's no way I'm going to lose to you, but the match is gonna be close score wise. Uh, which I don't want that to happen. I want
What'd you
him to be
call him?
able to a one score Andy.
What is that?
So I can't remember where it's like a one trick pony, but for some reason people have been using the name Andy for the same idea.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like if you like only if you only play multiplayer video games, you're a multiplayer Andy or something like that. So
All right.
yeah, I don't know. Or I'm just using it wrong. I don't know.
I like
I'm just
it.
I'll roll with it though. But yeah, as long as he doesn't go down that path of being stingy, I think it's awesome. And college enforces you or encourages you to score big points because you want to score for your team. So that's something that matters. And so I hope wherever he ends up going, it, I'm kind of
Where do
my
you think he's
guess.
going?
I'm guessing Michigan, Ohio State.
Michigan.
Like it's going to be one of those schools that's got a good amount of money.
Hmm.
That's my guess. So I don't think we'll see him
Yeah,
at Penn State. I think they're loaded up. Uh, it would be awesome to see him go to Cornell. I
they're in the running, right?
I pray that he's not going to Purdue because that would suck. But yeah, man, we'll see. And he's going to fill out. He'll be 41, 49 for college at least. So,
Yeah.
and then yeah, he had a match with a little bit of controversy in the finals against Fix, but I don't know. What do you okay, so to add the context to it, he is losing 2-2 on criteria against Dayton Fix with very short time left. He gets in on the shot as a single leg and he drives Fix out of bounds. But all of this action is happening basically grounded on their knees essentially. There's like there's a brief moment where like he pops up. I don't think Fix ever really comes up off his knees though. So I think the rule there is supposed to be grounded. Uh, but the refs ruled in favor of no, that's a step out. And there's a lot of issues from the
With
just from
grounding.
the rule itself. Yeah. Um, I've heard the reason for the concept behind grounding, and
What is it?
I see the solution. It has to do with differentiating being on your feet and being in parterre. Um, that's one of the reasonings behind it. And I cannot remember what the official ruling is, but basically, if you don't have to get a takedown to end up in parterre. So if you get to a position where the opponent is on their hands and knees, right, or they're down on supporting points where you would be if you were in the right position, you have a takedown. Then you're grounded. So whenever you drop down to a knee or both knees, you're grounded, and because of that, you can't give up a step out, which I don't agree with because I don't know. It feels like a cop out, and we've seen it be used as a cop out. You see people, they get snapped and they drop to their knees right on the edge of the out of bounds line, and we'll get into it later. Trent Hidley has a very crafty solution to it, but yeah, we'll get to that later. So yeah, there was that issue with the Blaze and Fix match, but I think this just goes back to Dayton Fix. You have this high offensive capability, use it. That's all there really is
Well,
to it.
yeah, I agree, but it is obviously very difficult to do with Marcus Blaze.
Yeah, you're right. But
I will say
the
this:
other, go ahead.
you want my opinion on that last exchange? I think
Yeah.
that's a step out point. I think
Okay.
based on the fact that he's in on the leg and he drove him out of bounds. I think most of the time, I mean, he dropped to his knee, but like right before he went out of bounds, and like the way I saw it, I was like, I think they normally call that a point, and I think
Yeah.
that was the right call.
From a from just my personal opinion of how you would score something like that, yeah, I think that's the right way to do it. I don't know if the rules are in line with that, but that's a different conversation. And then there's
Yeah,
a entirely separate conversation, and uh, this is something we can get into whenever we get up to 79 kilos with how the United States, their tournaments and their officials, how they interpret the rules versus what you see at international events like Worlds and the Olympics. So, but we can get into that later on. The bottom half of this bracket was a lot of fun too. I don't know if you got to watch DeSanto and Forrest, but
I saw a little bit of it. Like the last few minutes. What did
it
you
is,
watch the whole match?
yeah. I mean, I haven't ever seen DeSanto wrestle a match that poised. That was really cool to watch. Uh, Jax Forrest, I think he he kind of fell into the trap of, with guys at this level, it's not as easy as if they get in on your leg, you can just counter it. You have to make it more difficult. You have to make it extremely difficult for them to get in on shots. But DeSanto was able to kind of just drop in on a single leg a bunch or a high crotch, and then he would just bring his hips in and elevate, and Forrest was kind of hiked up and unable to really move.
Yeah,
So that kind of that put him in an uncomfortable position. But yeah, DeSanto won the match 9-6, and it was awesome. So
you rarely see a guy coming at DeSanto like that, especially at the end. Like almost
right,
never. They looked like when you looked at them. Like if you looked at them really far away, you wouldn't be sure which one is DeSanto and which one is Forrest.
right, yeah. Because normally DeSanto is going the whole time. Now,
Yeah,
so that does bring up a point in my mind. Because you were talking about Blaze and Fix, and it's hard to score a bunch of points on Fix. One thing that Vito did that I think this just benefits being a good wrestler is you're in the lead. There's short time left. Don't just play defense the whole time. Put your opponent off the gas. Put them on their brakes a little bit. By you're still wrestling. You can drop your level and at least fake for a shot or drop it on a shot, go down to front headlock, whatever it is. So, hey Ryan,
What's
our
up, fellas?
fearless leader is returned.
he's back.
Ryan Coakley on the podcast.
I'm not the leader. Sammy's the leader.
Oh,
Well, you're the leader age wise.
Okay.
It gives you some degree. In medieval times, we would bow to you.
This is true. I am the heir, I suppose.
There you go.
he's probably the heaviest of us all too, and that's important in medieval times.
Heaviest?
Whoever weighs the most.
Sammy, what do
I'm
you weigh?
about 195 right now.
Sammy's got me.
Really?
Yep.
Sammy's got me by about 15 pounds.
Let's see. Let's bust out the scale.
I'm a big guy. You saw me throwing those kegs last night. Look at that.
It's gotten smaller, boys.
It has
Look
gotten
at it. It
smaller.
has. It's gotten smaller.
Okay.
I'm working
Proud
on
of
it. All right. I'm weighing
I bet
around.
that-
I'm weighing like I'm touched back into like the upper 70s now. I'm not quite in the 80s all the time anymore.
Good.
That's good.
So,
We were
Yanni sized now.
yeah.
we were waiting with the hopes that you would be able to get on because we said that you weren't able to join us immediately on the podcast because something has happened recently and we wanted to let you be able to drop the news,
Oh,
let people know.
yeah.
We got yeah.
Oh, I don't know if you could hear it, but I am the dad of a new daughter. Yep.
That's right.
I got a little girl. She joined this earth on Thursday at like 3 in the morning.
September 12th, baby.
Mm-hmm. It was faster than I thought it was going to happen. Honestly,
Right.
like Carly's water broke at like 9:30,
8, 9.
9:45. Yeah. We didn't actually get to the hospital till 11. We kind of like, got things ready. Carly took a shower or whatever, and we relaxed. And she actually didn't like start feeling contractions or going to labor until we got to the hospital. And then they like checked us into the room and hooked her up to the machines. And then she actually started feeling the contractions. And so I would say at about 11:15, 11:30 is when she started laboring. And
4 hours.
baby was out in 4 hours. She only pushed for about 19 minutes. It was quite impressive. And she did it with no epidural. She's tough. She's much tougher than
Dude.
me because I would have been like, give me all of the drugs, please.
Yeah, that's quite the speed run category, and she got a
Yeah.
pretty quick time there too.
Yeah, she did. So she's a trooper.
It's funny because I was on the phone with Dad, and then he hopped on the phone with you, and then he calls me like 15 minutes later. He's like, I don't know what happened, but all I heard him say was, what? I gotta go. And I was like, I guess Carly's water broke probably. And so,
That's like exactly how that went down too. That's
right.
funny.
Yeah.
And mom on the phone with Carly.
Yeah, Mom was on the phone with Carly talking about other stuff. I think they were talking about baby stuff or like induction, like possible induction if it came to
Right.
that. And
Yeah.
it did not come to that.
Good.
Yep.
Full natural.
Good times. So what have you guys been talking about though in my absence?
We just went through 61 kilos, basically. Marcus Blaze and his crazy run, the little bit of controversy that happened in the finals, and DeSanto and Forrest, that match. And yeah. So
Who ended up taking third at that weight?
Forrest. He beat Liam on the backside, Cronin. And so Forrest also...
So did Forrest have to like challenge Fix?
I don't think
and
so.
Fix probably didn't wrestle or whatever. No.
I don't. Oh, they don't have any...
True third.
They don't
Fix
have
didn't weigh
a
in.
thing for that.
A Fix didn't weigh
Oh.
in.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when
I
you're...
figured that's kind of what would happen.
Yeah, because he's... Yeah. So, but Forrest did tweet out, he was pissed about this. He's like, I hate backside wrestling, something like that. He said 2 forfeits at trials at the Olympics and Worlds.
Yeah.
And because he got a forfeit against Nasir Bailey, would have been a great match, and Nashawn Garrett would have been a great match. So he had on the backside he got to wrestle Devin Turner and Liam Cronin.
Why did some of these guys wrestle a backside match on that? Like,
I guess they just didn't want to make weight, dude. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
It was just so stupid. It's frustrating.
well, I mean, yeah, making weight sucks, I suppose, but yeah, suck it up and make the weight.
So I gotta make a weight.
Maybe. Or
I
who cares?
personally don't care one way or
Yeah.
another. If you don't want to wrestle the backside at a tournament like this, it's like okay.
But it's cool to see like Levi Haynes and Keegan O'Toole. That's cool to see.
Dude.
No, I agree. I
Hayden
agree.
Keegan, or Haynes and Carr.
All that is icing on the cake, though, brother. It's nice.
Yes.
It's good. It's good fan service for sure. But like, Does it make
Yeah.
sense for these guys to wrestle and possibly, risk injury or whatever you want to call it? Like, no, probably not. But I mean, I do appreciate the guys that wrestle through the tournament, and don't get me wrong, but I don't fault the guys that don't want to do it.
Yeah. Me
You know,
neither.
to each their own kind of thing.
Yeah, I have a little bit of take every chance you can to compete, but there's
No,
the live to fight another day. I get it.
yeah, and I
Like,
totally get that, Sammy, where you're coming
Yeah.
from for sure. So even though you said your back is feeling better, so maybe you should get back on the mat then.
I
Maybe
will,
you should-
if I have the chance to compete in the next year or two, I will take it.
All right,
Don't
Do
even doubt that for a second. I'll
come
do
up
it.
here and you can
I'll
come up here and train, dude.
I'll go to the Life U Open this year.
I don't know if that's necessary. I'd rather
I'll
you
do
train
it.
for something that like actually
How far away
matters.
is that?
I'll go to the Southeast Open. I don't know. It's like probably it's with Georgia. It's not that far. So
Georgia. Forget how
Atlanta.
close you are to Georgia.
Atlanta.
it's Atlanta's like that's a little bit of a drive, but I could make it. It's not too far.
I'm starting to come to the realization that I might just be riding with Madre down to see you, Sammy.
Well, yeah, dude. If you don't buy the plane ticket soon, it's just gonna be really expensive.
Probably already too expensive.
Yeah.
I haven't looked. I'm too afraid.
You want me to look for you, Reese?
No.
What airline do you
That's-
want to fly?
Come on.
I think you can only fly. The only choice is really American, or like
No,
don't
there's a
know.
couple. You
We'll
can.
look at
Did
it.
you check
American
only
Airlines.
Mobile?
I'm just getting on
Huh?
Expedia.
Well,
Did you check only
going
Mobile?
to- yeah, that's because what I'd be flying into.
Pensacola.
Pensacola.
That's where
I don't think
we
they have it either.
we flew into Pensacola last
Do
time,
they
didn't
have
we?
Southwest? I think
No,
they had to
you
use
flew into
American.
Mobile.
Dude, I've flown from Pensacola though.
I've done Southwest. I've
You know what?
done
I think I did fly
Delta.
Southwest on Pensacola.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
said
No,
you
I
had- Oh, okay.
yes, 100%. That's what I did a couple weeks
Well, there
ago.
you have it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I'll
Good
do.
airline
Maybe I'll
talk.
check Pensacola too.
I'm checking it right now for you.
Do you know the weekend, Ryan? Do you know when they're coming?
Isn't it the first weekend of
Got all
October?
the details.
I have no idea. Is it the
Yeah,
first
the
weekend of
fourth,
October?
no.
The 4th and the 5th, right?
I have no idea.
4th
That's
through
right.
the 6th or whatever. I think that's what
Correct.
it was. Correct? Okay. So yeah, Sammy, I do.
I didn't
I
know.
do have
I forgot.
He don't even care.
No, I'm excited, but I just couldn't remember when it was, and I was kind of growing doubtful that you would go because of the whole ticket thing.
Tickets, please.
Tickets.
Tickets, please.
Back to wrestling, maybe.
Maybe back
Yeah.
to wrestling.
We've only gotten through 61, really.
Yeah. Ryan, do you want to give your 2 cents on the weight?
Yeah. What do you think about 61 kilograms?
Thought it was. Yeah, I thought it was interesting how it went down. I was kind of shocked to see that Marcus Blaze was just kind of after wrestling a tournament like Junior Worlds. I kind of thought that there would be maybe a little bit of, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but like
Fatigue.
Thank you, because my brain kept wanting to say regression, but that's not correct. Fatigue for sure. But there was none. Or at least it didn't look like it. Not for him or PJ Duke. Maybe Mirasola, but
Is that the same Mirasola? Am I tripping?
Connor, right?
You're tripping, bro.
I'm tripping. I thought Cole was the one signed up. That's my bad. No, Cole's big. Never
No,
mind.
they both signed up,
I know. But then
only
Cole backed
Connor
out.
wrestled. Then Connor got beat up by Aiden Sinclair, which kind of shocked me, and then kind of ran through the backside, and I think beat a dude or two that beat Aiden on the backside. So funny how that works, I guess.
The Sinclair match was kind of weird with him.
Mirasola only beat Luke Duthie from California RTC, and it was a 21-20 or 21-10 match.
Yeah.
After that, he won by injury default over Eric Schultz, and then lost to Marcus Coleman.
Who are we talking about?
Oh, that's what it was.
Mirasola.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Do we want to move on to 70?
Yes.
Okay. What a bracket.
Greasy looked like Greasy, baby. James
Greasy,
Greasy.
He looked like super greasy.
dude. He looked like new hip who dis Greasy.
Yeah, he looked
No,
really good.
He's, 70 kilograms, man. That's his weight class. If it was in the Olympics, he would have been the rep for years.
dude. I wish Yanni was healthy. Seeing him and Green at 70 kilos would be awesome.
Awesome.
That would be
Yeah.
such a great match.
I feel like they did wrestle once at a catch weight.
They wrestled.
they-
They did wrestle at 65, right?
They wrestled at
No,
65 a couple times.
But was it truly 65? Or I thought they
So they-
time wrestled at like
When
67
they
or
wrestled,
68.
They did the RTC Cup during COVID.
Yes.
I don't know what weight
Yes.
that was. So
God, it
No,
might
they
have
beat
been.
him,
did
right?
that.
You know what? It might have been 70 kilograms.
Maybe. But yeah, great. James Green looked phenomenal. He runs through this bracket. I can't see the bottom of the bracket because Flo Arena. Actually, I can see that. He texts Jackson Arrington, texts Paniro Johnson, beats Jordan Oliver 6-3, and then has Alec Pantaleo in the final. Lat drops him right into a leg lace in the first match to tech him in 49 seconds, and then beats him 2-1 in the second match. So he got a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything. Three shot clock points or whatever.
Dude.
Clock points.
Yeah,
Activity.
passivity.
Clock.
Just brutal, but hit both ends of the spectrum, so you can't complain. Yeah,
Watching that match with Pantaleo and Green, the way Pantaleo was hand fighting him, I was like, damn. I'm kind of less surprised how PJ Duke handled the Pantaleo hand fight.
Yeah,
Because that dude is gritty.
Yeah,
He's mean.
He's not fun to hand fight.
After watching the Duke Pantaleo match, I was like, all right, PJ Duke, adding him to the list of people I would not want to wrestle.
Dude, he's so mean.
Yeah, he is mean. And
He
hand fight.
Just heavy-handed.
Yeah.
Heavy-handed.
So he took third. He lost to Pantaleo in the semis. He took third, ran through the backside, beat Yaya Thomas for third, beat Jake Hughes and Bouzakis on the front side. Yeah, I mean he wasn't able to score any points on Pantaleo, but he was scrapping the whole time. So yeah, it was awesome to see him and Blaze do as well as they did, and they both got very bright
who do you
futures.
think's the better prospect? I'm probably Blaze, I'd say at this point. But
Blaze should be.
They're different kinds of prospects. Yeah, they're
one is better than the other.
In what way, though?
Well, one is going to have a better NCAA career than the other. 100%. That is for real. Or they could both be 4-time champs, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
they're not going to be 4-time champs, both of them, I don't think.
I mean, it's so hard to do, right?
So you can say who you think one is. You can say who you think is better than the other.
I don't know though, like because they both are so good at doing different things.
I would put Blaze at number 1 on the big board. He should be for his class. I'd put Blaze number 1.
Just because if he's had more success on the senior level than PJ,
I think he's achieved a higher level. Yes.
I don't know about achieved a higher level.
I'm not going to argue that. I'm just saying, like,
I might.
They're both good.
I think those wins over Gross, Nashon, and Fix.
Oh, they're better wins, yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't Alira supposed to wrestle?
No. Maybe?
Yes, he was. But I was like, how are you going to sign up for 70 kilograms, but then also prepare your body to wrestle 41? That didn't make sense.
Oh,
so when he didn't pop up in the bracket, I was like, yeah, I didn't expect him to.
Where's Larkin?
He didn't show up either.
Damn.
There was a lot of entries that signed up or that didn't show up or whatever.
Right. It's tough.
It is what it is.
So. Yeah.
Duke kind of has that kind of bully. I'm going to bully you the entire time, so good luck beating me. Like, where I feel like Blaze is more stingy, and you could like bite him at the end. he could get, like Jesse Mendez or someone like that who wrestles a tight match.
Mm-hmm.
And you could get him with the takedown at the very end. Where I feel like with
I,
Duke, that's going to be hard to do. So
I was
I'm,
kind of
I'm, I'm not
thinking.
sure who I think would be better.
I was thinking with Duke, with how strong he is and kind of the positions that he gets into and encourages in matches, and considering his weight, his shape, his strength, and the school he's going to, I was like, man, he kind of reminds me of Vincenzo Joseph. So, but
He is
maybe
definitely
that's
way more aggressive than Vincenzo. Vincenzo had more finesse.
yeah,
There.
right. Well, it's because Vincenzo's from the Whippeal, so
Yep, this is true.
it's a difference. Yeah.
79?
Yeah, I mean, the final touches on here. It was awesome to see Jordan Oliver compete. He had a phenomenal matchup against Bryce Andonian with a last second four to win the match. And yeah, all around this tournament was great. I hope to see more of Andonian, and hopefully Oliver sticks around to wrestle some more. And
Oliver already tweeted that he's going to be signing up for Bill Farrell.
right, he said November, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Cool. Yeah,
Love to
79.
see
I'm
it.
ready.
Yeah, he feels like he just needs to shake off the. Sorry, Sammy. What was that?
I'm excited for 79. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I feel like Jo. This was a good tournament for him to shake off the rust a little bit.
For
Definitely.
sure.
Still got that savviness to himself. So
Oh, yeah.
man,
79?
yep, we're here. I don't even know where to start. I guess we could say this: the king is back. He's back.
The king is back.
He's back. It's very exciting.
Ryan, we were talking about this beforehand because Sidakov has kind of gone back on him saying he's done with wrestling. So the idea that we have the potential for, and there's a lot that has to happen, but already a lot has happened for this to occur, to see Jordan Burroughs against Sidakov and David Taylor against Sajalayev. How crazy would that be?
Pepper needs new shorts.
Right, dude. God, it would be so cool.
No, man, yes. Sajulayev, David Taylor, sign me up. Sign me up.
Dude,
Yeah.
That match should be crazy.
That would
What do you
be
think wins that
awesome.
match?
The fans.
Why are you so afraid of making predictions?
David
I
Taylor.
don't know.
Taylor.
I would predict Dave. I will predict David Taylor. 100%. I will predict David Taylor.
Me too.
So,
Dude. Oh my God. But yeah.
but would not. I know it. I just know it'll be awesome. I just know it'll be an awesome match. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Yeah.
so looking at this, Jordan Burroughs wins, gets a tech fall in round one, takes out Levi Haynes 4-1 in the quarters, beats Alex Deringer 7-4 in the semis, and takes out Chance Marsteller in 2 matches. And he completely shut him out in the first match, 3-0. Didn't really look like Marsteller had any sort of answer to Burroughs. And then in the second match, he wins 6-3. He's in on this double leg, and it looks very reminiscent of their match in 2023. And Jordan Burroughs learns. He pops out to the side and he finishes. And he still gives up 2, but he gets his 4 and he wins that match. So
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't see a difference in the situations. I still think Bros should have got the 4 in that match that he lost as well. So, but he didn't. So,
I guess maybe you could say he kind of threw Burroughs off the side more this time. I don't know.
So Burroughs popped up to the side, and then there was a second, maybe 2 seconds, where Burroughs had him on his back, and
Right.
Marcelo had to readjust and continue to drive. I can't say because I don't remember what it looked like.
It was
in
like
Final X.
slow. It was like a little bit faster than that,
just
but it was still kind
barely.
of slow motion.
Yeah,
Like-
because
It still
what
looked
you
like
can't
it could have
say,
been a 4-2 situation then
Yeah.
and now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
JB would have
Really,
done himself
it's been-
a lot of help if he had held onto the legs in this match, but he didn't even do that. He just kind of drove forward and let go of the legs and planted.
He didn't
So,
hold
I mean-
on to the legs in the last match either. Or in the
No,
last
I'm saying both. He would have done himself a lot of help in this one. Well, he didn't really need to, but
Yeah.
that shows that you're continuing to advance this risk, which is a shot. But
Did he throw
By the way.
Burrows? Did he go like when he went to his back in the first match? I can't remember if he was out of bounds or not.
Dude, they
Out of
were.
bounds.
Yes.
Yep.
His
And
head.
that's like
That's the other thing too. His head completely hits out of bounds, and normally when that happens, action stops.
yeah.
Right.
They let him continue because they said it was chances. Which no, dude. Yeah. See, you're getting me all riled up here, guys.
Yeah, that match was a little bit sickening, I will say. I had to shut the laptop off after that match because I was unhappy.
But hey, we got the I'm not going to say the good result. We got the Jordan Burroughs winning this time, and yeah,
It's good for everybody, I would say. Well, except for the Chance Camp, of course, but
right.
like better shot at winning gold. Everybody wants to see Americans win gold, so
Yeah.
We got to.
Yeah, and
Do we have a squad to bring home 4 golds? I think,
Dude, yes.
so.
So I was saying that earlier. I was like, we're all 4 of them can 100% medal, and there's even a chance to come home with 4 golds. But we'll see. We'll see what the competition looks like.
New hip
And,
super greasy gonna bring home that gold, baby.
It'd be great. I would love
yeah,
that.
I wonder what about the competition like. I feel like what Iranians Ghasempour maybe,
The one that beat Burroughs, Savad Kui, right?
yeah, or Nakoti, one of those two will go.
Yeah. So I mean, both those guys are really good. So either one would be great to see against Burroughs.
Maybe Baby Yaz. I mean, he's good, but I don't think he can beat. Well, him and Green would have a good match.
Yeah, and then 61, you have Mamedov? No, Maga.
Abbas
Can't remember.
Ghazi.
Abbas Gadzi. I was completely off the mark. So.
I mean, his last name is Makhmedov.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, there's going to be hope. There's the opportunity for a lot of really good matches. So
Yeah.
just hoping
Very
that
interested
people.
to see what Russians go.
Yeah, exactly. And looking at this bracket, 79 kilos, there were a lot of subplots within the overarching story of what happened. The biggest one is the matches between Keegan O'Toole and David. Well, one of the biggest ones is the matchup between Keegan O'Toole, David Carr, and Levi Haynes.
The love triangle?
The love triangle. So first match is Keegan O'Toole and David Carr in the quarters. Keegan O'Toole hits this slick duck right into a leg lace, gets 3 laces, is up 8-0, and just kind of coasts after that and wins the match 9-4. There was a spot where I think Keegan O'Toole had him rear standing, or he was imminent on a takedown to end the match, and the ref blew the whistle, I think.
Yeah, super
Right?
quick.
It was weird.
Yeah. Okay. Just want to make sure that I remember that correctly.
Yeah, it was weird. It definitely shouldn't. I mean, he should have got a tech fall, to be honest with you.
Right. But I think if you wrestle that match again, it looks a little bit more competitive. That initial exchange obviously makes things kind of difficult. So then Keegan O'Toole goes to the semis, loses to Chance Marsteller 6-0 by way of a sick, nasty arm spin. So he's on the backside, and he's got Levi Haynes. Levi completely controls the match. Just wins 6-0, kind of dominates it.
Looks huge.
Looks great. He looked like, yeah. And one thing I noticed about O'Toole is he doesn't have he's not tenacious. He's kind of very, very casual about all of his matches. And I didn't really understand that. I didn't feel like he was super aggressive in anything that he was doing. I don't know if are you holding your hand
What
up?
are you doing there?
Yeah, who was in the corner for Levi Haynes?
I wasn't looking. I didn't look. Right.
I
I would assume Sanderson and Cunningham, Cody Sanderson.
I wasn't sure if there were Penn State people there, or if it was maybe Mark McKnight, or I didn't know maybe if there was. I was like, if there's no Nittany Lion people there really, or if it's not the regular people like David Taylor over there, maybe tampering a little bit.
Maybe.
What are you saying? I'm so
Brian,
lost.
I'm saying Levi Haynes just watched his club coach make a world team and destroy Zahid Valencia in match 2, and he's probably sitting there thinking like, man, if I went there, I probably wouldn't have to wrestle for my spot.
So I have
Interesting.
an idea on that because we saw Levi Haynes wrestle, but Facundo didn't wrestle. So I'm wondering if they're saying, Haynes, we're going to have you redshirt this year. Facundo will wrestle 74, and then we'll move on from there. I don't know if that's going to happen, but it makes me think that it alludes to that as a possibility. So
It's crazy to think Facundo is the better option after watching that performance.
I don't know if he is the better option.
But why not? Why not? If you're trying to stretch eligibility for these guys and help them
Right,
achieve their
yeah.
goals, why not? I mean, Facundo can compete at 74 this year, I think.
I think so, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and Levi's got a red shirt. Let him red shirt. Let him, have a year to just kind of compete freestyle or do whatever he wants to do. And
Also, if he's going to grow from 57 or from 157 to 174, give him that time. Like, obviously he looked big for 79 kilos, or not for 79 kilos, but he looked big competing at 79 kilos from where he was.
Keegan.
Yeah. And so maybe he doesn't really need that time. So I don't know.
he really looked bigger than David Carr too. But David Carr, he had no answers for David Carr, man. Not really.
David bodied him. He was so slick. He won that match 8-2, and yeah, he looked great. So
But
yeah, so
Carr
they
is such an interesting wrestler because he just does not look strong, but he's got to be really strong.
Dude, I've seen him pull in shots, and I'm like, how are you doing that?
Yeah.
You just got to wonder what David Taylor making this team and possibly, hopefully bringing home a gold medal, what this is going to look like for recruits and not just recruits,
This guy,
other guys in college.
you just can't
Right.
you just can't get off the Oklahoma State. You're just the Oklahoma State spokesperson at this point.
There's a lot of hype around it, and I love it.
It's not just me, dude. It's all over the place. I'm not the only
When
one.
is it going to happen? When's it going to happen?
It'll happen.
When's what going to happen? The
What do you
flipping?
mean? It's already happened. Oh, maybe not from Penn State, but apparently
there's a rumor. There's a rumor.
There's rumors.
Yeah.
About who?
Commitment flip. We don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a commitment flip or if it's like somebody on the team is like, I'm out. I don't know. So
It was what I read was it was a commitment flip.
okay, which is still big.
And I saw a lot of people replying to that. They were saying PJ, but I'm like, I don't know. That one doesn't really make
That's
sense.
far fetched.
Yeah.
Yep.
That one doesn't
How
make.
come that one doesn't make sense?
I don't know. Just because. I don't know. Just doesn't. PJ, it wasn't. I would. It would make more sense if it was an M2 guy who was committed to Penn State and then is flipping to.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that it doesn't make sense. It's that there's nothing that directly says like, oh, this would be why, in my mind at least.
Well, who would? Which one would be?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Let me get in here and You want me to get in here and look, Reese?
You
know who would make sense to me? One of the Mirasolas, maybe not both, but one of them.
Why? AWA.
Because they can directly wrestle with David Taylor because they're that size and everything. Like,
okay, I hear you.
That's where I'm going. I was thinking size on that one, maybe not so much
club
affiliation. So
I see what you're saying on that.
Yeah. Merrill, I like Merrill, and I guess I don't know. They don't have a great heavyweight option, I guess, right now.
Well,
I feel like Merrill, you would want to keep that guy around at 97.
You think
as long
so?
as you can. Oh, you think he'll be a heavyweight?
I don't know.
I don't know.
He just looks really short.
Kind of what everyone says. But
we'll see.
He could wrestle heavyweight. Yeah. That'd be fine.
Well, another thing.
Just my 2 cents. I don't know anything. I'm just guessing.
Yeah. Another thing of note from this bracket this weekend, Alex Deringer wrestled his last match. He lost to Jordan Burroughs in the semis 7-4 and left his shoes on the mat after that match. And yeah, it's the last time we'll be seeing him compete.
It was very heartwarming. It was a beautiful moment.
Yeah.
Shout out, Alex, man. We're huge fans of you. I've known you for a long time, and we're happy for you. And we're excited to see what you do in your future endeavor for sure.
Yep.
So
hopefully it's wrestling related. I could only imagine. Hopefully, so
He'll be in the
It don't
corner. I
have to
mean,
be.
Alex is going to be a great coach, in my opinion. I think he'll be a great coach.
right. Phenomenal one.
We've gotten
Yeah.
the opportunity to work with him, at Southern Plains many years ago, heck, over 10 years ago, and he was came down to Southern Plains camp and helped us out, and
He's
it
great
was
at shuffleboard and pool and all of the
Washers and
yeah.
poker, or not poker, darts and.
He's good at washers, but he's not as good as me. But yeah.
Okay. All right.
oh man,
So, yeah.
another time.
Natural born athlete. Freak of nature.
He's just a winner. He just loves winning.
Just wins.
Just wins.
So, do we have any other thoughts on this weight?
Nope.
I don't think so.
Okay. We can move it on up to our last men's
hold
freestyle
on.
weight.
Do we
Okay.
want to talk about Burroughs, like the way he wrestled or anything like that, or like how do we feel
Oh,
about?
yeah.
Slightly annoying. I'm glad you brought that up
Well-
because I did want to say it. Slightly annoying. I was slightly annoyed with the way he wrestled.
There's a problem about it. There's a problem with it too. It's not this. The way he wrestled will not get scored the same way that it did internationally. That it did here.
But
It can be
Burroughs
scored
knows that,
differently.
right? Burroughs knows what he can get away with domestically versus internationally. He's got.
Yeah.
He's been in the game for a long time. Like,
Yeah. I
Who
mean, I hope he
knows?
does. Him and Slade, they've got to know. So
he
But-
knows
And
that
I
these domestic refs aren't gonna pop him for dancing and.
it's not just him though.
No,
Obviously,
I know it's not just him. That's why he knows it's.
Right.
the Alex match was kind of was kind of frustrating how long they let it go. But the Chance match, I was like, with the way Chance wrestles, I don't even feel that strongly about it one way or the other because I find Chance's style extremely frustrating. Also, I think, and
Yeah.
like, I mean, I think in a folk style match, where the holding center is not as important, his style doesn't, he wouldn't get away with as much as he does. Chance would not.
Yeah. But so to just add context to this, Burroughs, one of the things that I noticed the refs will enforce at international events that the UWW refs will do is if the score, this particular situation is when the score is close and, wrestler B who is losing is trying to engage with wrestler A and they are, not maintaining contact through the entire position. We saw this happen to Mirasola at U20 Worlds. He seemed to hold good position and circle back to the center of the mat, and he wasn't entirely evading, but he was breaking contact so constantly or so consistently that the refs hit him for caution 1. So if you take the match that Burroughs and Marcella wrestled and you put it in that setting, in that environment, it's probably going to get scored differently. And,
Think so?
we say I'm saying that there's a definite chance of that, or there's going to be a focus or an emphasis of fingers
So, like,
pointing
was
towards
this
like why is
guy-
this happening?
The guy wrestling Mirasola, was he like stalking Mirasola or was he coming at Mirasola?
He was taking ground. I can't remember. I mean, stalking or taking ground.
Like, I'm saying, like, so Chance was more like stalking Burroughs, not necessarily like
Grabbing.
coming at him to like
Uh-huh.
attack and score. It was
Baiting.
more like
Baiting.
he was like I don't know. I nobody understands what I'm doing right now. On
I
the
know.
podcast, obviously, but
I think I get what you're saying. So to your point, the guy that was wrestling Mirasola was taking shots, but the apparent problem is that Mirasola would defend the shot, circle, and then break contact rather than just keeping his hands on him. That's the thing is that refs want is contact at all times, which you can
that
have a
doesn't
debate
really
about.
happen.
You can have a debate about whether, well, not at every single second of the match, but when wrestler B is trying to attack wrestler A and they keep breaking contact to reset these positions, that's the thing that's going to cause you to be called for fleeing.
I agree.
So the problem from this, because we can say, yeah, Burroughs is smart enough. Sure, totally. If the wrestlers understand the rules, that's great. But whenever there's a difference between how things get officiated in the States versus how they're going to get officiated at the highest level, which is Worlds, the UWW officials, that's a problem. We've talked about
He
this
for
for
sure
Greco, so
he got some leeway for sure from the refs in Omaha. Like I would
yeah.
100% believe that the refs gave him a little bit of leeway. But I also think, dude, I think he's gonna smash most of the guys he wrestles at Worlds. That's kind of how I feel like it'll go, or at least he's not gonna have any issues.
I could see that.
Unless it's Sudakov.
Unless I'm saying like most of the guys, I think he'll
You
have
take
he'll have a couple matches that'll be
you
tough
take
for
most
sure.
of his matchups from the people in the bracket, and you're like, okay, he's gonna
Look at his run
smash.
2 years ago, right? He didn't have a close match.
Right. Okay. So
Moving
moving on to 92. David Taylor.
The man.
He just
The man.
he kind of, but like he didn't do anything crazy. He just went out there and he wrestled. There was no like.
He did some crazy stuff.
Well, no. So sorry. What I'm trying to get to is like, it was David Taylor was so casual about the entire thing, and I don't. I mean, it's because he's Coach Dave now, but I don't know. It was just interesting to see. It was fascinating for me.
He was stoic, composed,
No.
wise.
Yeah.
He's a wise man now.
So he pins his way to the challenge bracket finals. He pins his first match in the quarters. He pins Marcus Coleman. And in the semis, he pins Mike Mock. And then in the finals, he has a 10-6 match with Trent
You're not
Hidley.
going to say what the guy's name was in his first round?
Aiden Bernat. There you go.
Yeah. You know who he beat, too. He
Huh?
beat our boy,
Who?
Clay.
No,
Yeah,
that's
dude,
a
watch
different
Clay's-
weight class, dude. Different
Was it
weight class.
79
Oh,
kilos?
shoot.
Dummy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm thinking, who am I thinking of?
You're
Get
thinking
I was
dunked.
thinking
Yes,
of
you're thinking
Burroughs.
Sam
I was thinking
Sam Beckett.
Sam
I was thinking of
Beckett.
Burroughs' first match.
Yep. See, I knew the name without even looking it up. That's how much I was paying attention.
Sam
Who
Beckett.
is that guy?
I don't know,
Pennsylvania.
but he
I'll look it up right now. Sam.
did beat Clay, which was unfortunate.
Clay got a little tired there.
Yeah.
Stanford.
There you go. Back to 92. Yeah, Dave Taylor pins his way to the challenge bracket finals. Wrestles a phenomenal match against Trent Hidley, 10-6. Awesome match. If you want to go back and watch anything, watch that match. And then in the challenge bracket, or in the finals in the series, beats Zahid Valencia 3-3. Very tight. Just great exchanges. Awesome match. And then he goes out in the second match and wins 8-0 with a pinfall at 2 minutes and 50 seconds. So
He went Magic Man on
Cradled him.
Zahid.
yeah.
Oh, he did go Magic Man on one of those takedowns. It was awesome.
Yeah. Disappeared on him. I got to
Yeah.
rewatch that. I'm not even really sure what happened.
Hey, Trent Hidley went Magic Man on Magic Man.
Dude,
I
okay.
didn't see
So
that.
I was going to bring this up. Trent Hidley, I think this is the solution that he has developed for his own personal use. For whenever he's driving people and they drop to their knees to get the grounded call, is he's just going to hop over them.
Jump over and he did right. Yeah, I saw him do that a couple times.
He did it
Quick
against
I can't believe that
J.I.L.O.
works.
He throws in a quick. Well, that's because he throws in this quick little like snap,
Oh yeah.
and then gets his arms
Pops right
free and
down.
then jumps over. Yeah, so they
Right.
can, you're.
So he did
snapping.
that against DT.
Yes, dude.
And it worked.
I gotta watch the
He had a-
match.
That was my favorite match of the whole tournament. Was David Taylor.
Oh
Trent Hidley.
man,
It was such a good match. Oh my god, it was great. Yeah, and Trent Hidley has this great response to people dropping to their knees, close to the out of bounds line, and I love it.
Yeah.
And the thing is like, okay, so you're gonna hop over and go for the takedown. And worst case scenario, you don't get the takedown, you guys go out of bounds. The guy's on his knees, so it's grounded, so you're not gonna give up a step out. Good to go. Done
You
deal.
won't give out a step out. They fixed that rule.
The position is grounded.
When did
Why would
they?
you give it?
I don't know because they've given step outs before for that. for that situation. They did it.
I mean, I don't think you're supposed to.
Taylor got hit with this or gave up a step out point against Zahid one time when they're in their finals X series.
Was it a step out or was it a caution?
It was he was going or he was circling like do a go behind and stepped out of bounds, and they gave Zahid 1 point for a step out. Yeah, it was dumb. And that's not the only time I've seen that.
Dumb. That was just bad officiating.
Yeah, it's bad. And then you got certain people on Twitter being like, "Oh, well, nope, he stepped out." Yeah, I don't know if you know.
A step out's a step
Casuals? You talking about some casuals?
I'm talking about some nerd, some Twitter nerd.
Twitter nerd.
Name them. Put them on blast. Put them on blast.
I'm talking about the wrestling nomad.
Yeah! Blast him!
He just had. I
right.
just remember his little. He had a series of tweets during the Zahid and Taylor series.
Yeah. Well, Nomad.
That I disagreed with heavily. Yeah.
Yeah, Nomad is Nomad.
Yeah, dude. This was a fun couple of matches here at this weight. I love watching Trent Hadley wrestle. David Taylor's the magic man. I still think it's interesting how he was. I don't know. He's just. It felt like he was fathering his opponents. Like it was a practice room. He's like, all right, let's go back to the center of the mat. Like, I don't know.
After one of his matches, he after he went over, he shook coach's hand and went over to his corner, and Thomas Gilman, he puts his arm around him, and as they're walking away, and it's just so interesting sight when you see the wrestler put their arm around their coach as they're you just see their backs, and I mean he's just I don't know what he's saying to him, but it was just interesting.
He's like, "You think that was pretty cool, Gilman?" Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool.
It's a Hawkeye and a Nittany Lion coaching for the Cowboys. I love it, dude. I absolutely love it.
That is pretty great. Pretty great.
That's a special sauce.
Yeah. And then you just sprinkle on a little bit of a lion eye on there too with Jimmy Kennedy.
There you go.
Oh, James.
Couple of things to note from Greco. If you guys want to move on from this weight,
what happened to Ray Rilla?
What happened to Ray Rilla? Did he miss weight?
I'm talking to you, Sammy. You're supposed to be my guy that knows.
How am I supposed to know?
He didn't even weigh in, did he?
Did he not weigh in?
Yeah, I'm wondering if he didn't weigh in. I don't know. Was he struggling with weight, or did he just was like, you know what? I'm just gonna let Benji have it. I'm here to help Benji.
I thought Benji retired. Guess not.
What?
Guess that doesn't mean anything. He definitely publicly came out and said he retired.
Benji did?
Yeah.
When?
I don't know. Probably. I mean, it might still be up on his Twitter. He did like a while ago. Yeah, earlier this year.
I don't ever remember seeing that.
No, not on Instagram. On Twitter.
No. I don't know, man.
But I guess he didn't retire.
I feel like he's got such.
He's so young. I was shocked by that.
He was trolling you.
He trolled me good. Got me.
Was it?
You, dude.
Did you see it on like April 1st or something like that? Maybe.
It must have been.
Yeah.
It's gone. Whatever it was. So maybe it was for real, and he's like, "Psych, I'm not."
Maybe you're doing mental gymnastics.
No,
you've Mandela'd yourself.
100% remember Benji Peak saying he was retired.
Okay. Well, he wrestled and he looked good in his matches. He took out Peyton Robb. I was excited for that matchup, and Benji Peak kind of shut the door on it. So, yeah, and I don't know what happened to Ray Vaughn. And then at 82 kilos, we have got to be one of our oldest world team members ever. Right?
Who?
Yeah.
Alexander Kikino.
Oh, yeah.
He's like 44, I think.
44.
Dude. That's crazy. And
he's in great shape.
Yep,
he doesn't even look
he
like
looks
he's 44.
he looks like he would fail a drug test, but I'm guessing he's passing them, so
Well, he has to be.
right. Brady Kuntz, 155 kilos, and I believe, it was a 3-match series, but Ildar Havisov did take out Max Black.
Oh
So,
yeah, I was just saying, Black got him in one match.
right.
Ildar likes to do
Yep.
that though. Ildar does not like to wrestle 2 matches. All right, he loves
No.
wrestling 3.
He said, "Give me 3." Now there is a guy I know who said, "I'm only giving you 2."
Yeah, and he bombed him in one of those matches.
And, that was great.
Said, this is my weight
That
class."
was one of the coolest throws I've ever seen.
Oh,
Ever.
dude.
Right.
Sick! It gets me jacked up just thinking about it. Shout out Jesse Thilke. We love Jesse Thilke.
Big Jesse Thilke guys over here. I
Yep.
really thought he broke Ildar's neck when he did that. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god.
I was like, there's not even going to be a match, too.
Right.
Oh man,
In women's freestyle, we have Ariana Villascusa, Jakara Winchester, Macy Kilty,
see Kilty.
and at 72 kilos, Kylie Welker.
Good
Solid,
team.
dude. We got 12 hammers that we're sending out to. I'm gonna say Albania,
You got it. Yeah, you got it.
Tirana, right?
Yep. Got it.
Okay, look at me.
You're on top of it.
Look at you.
Let's go. Yeah, dude, this was. I told Reese this at the beginning of the episode. It was on par from a fan perspective. This was on par with the Olympic trials
Yes.
for me, for the matchups that we saw.
So great segue then, Sam. So I saw a lot of people complaining, whining. I'm going to go ahead and say whining because that is what it is. When you just complain about something and then don't offer any solution, which is hilarious for some people since they have a company called Blank Solutions. You're just whining. You're just whining all the time.
That really narrows it down.
Just saying, offer something up. Don't just be like USA Wrestling this, USA Wrestling that, blah blah blah. Like, all right,
Honestly,
what would you do differently?
yeah. And why are you complaining, dude? Like, for what purpose is that serving you?
And you know what?
Like-
was he even there? Did he go down there and watch?
Yeah, I don't know.
Are you gonna complain about the format of the tournament and where it's held if you're not even going?
It really maybe feels like it's a Midwest thing. Maybe it's location related more than anything. People in the East poo-pooing Midwest venues.
Joe Kenya was putting on, or was explaining the idea that the thing that's being pushed is streaming, right? Is virtual attendance versus physical attendance. There's nobody out there who is marketing and just working on bringing up physical attendance because I guess it's not enough of a benefit. I don't know. And people are saying location, but I mean, you can get a sellout crowd in Omaha. You can get a sellout crowd in Iowa City. Like, it's possible. It doesn't seem like the production of the event is putting forth that effort. And if that's the case, then if you want to see that change, then recognize that that's the problem and try and find a solution. That's as simple as it gets.
Frankly, I found nothing wrong with the venue. I thought it was fine, and you know what? I mean, do the wrestlers really care?
I don't think there was much of an emphasis on like, oh, we want this to be an event. We want there to be flashing lights and smoke, and we want lots of people to attend to it. It's like we're gonna process this event, and that's totally fine, right? We've had massive events this year in the sport, right? So to keep kind of pushing a lot of them in, it just can be a lot. It can be cumbersome. So
it was really nice how quickly everything ran too. I was just, the first round today got done in like an hour, and that was awesome.
Another
complaint by people that was like, yesterday how it was ran was great, but today, no, not so much. And it's like, well, what are you going to do then? What do you do differently? Because I thought it was perfect.
I mean, I don't care. I don't care if you.
Rounds?
Whatever. That's fine. But the thing that they were complaining about yesterday, they did all of men's freestyle, all of Greco, all of women's freestyle, or whatever order they did it in, and then today they did in the finals they did men's freestyle, women's freestyle, Greco, or whatever order
Yeah,
they did it.
lightest to heaviest, men's freestyle, women's freestyle, Greco. Which I mean, what's wrong with that? Honestly,
You should do it that way. Yeah.
because
Right.
you are definitely like you want to build viewership for other styles. Like that's the way to do it for sure. Because how many
Maybe.
people?
Dude.
Well, look,
People
if you would have done just men's freestyle, those 4 matches right away, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
and then
Right.
and then go into women's freestyle and grab. How many people would have been like, boop after the David Taylor Zahid Valencia match for the first match? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And then they would have waited until they would have been like, all right, I'll come back and check later whenever are these other. No, instead they had to actually watch some other wrestling, which I enjoyed. I liked the other wrestling. So
Yeah. It's just, man, it feels like a lot of people have just completely given up on on like Greco. Totally checked out and just like it's even like larger figures in the sport have it feels like are just like who cares?
well, for
And
sure,
like why yeah, which sucks, man. It's like I don't know.
the lack of success
Yes.
on the senior or at the world and Olympic championships is definitely a driving factor into that too. Because
Yeah, but like
if these dudes
why
are
are we
medaling, then we're not even talking about that. Truly.
Yeah.
we're
And
just so
if
spoiled,
you
bro.
want a raw injection of increased participation at the level where we want to see achievement, which is the senior level, you're gonna have to fish out some money, right? You're gonna have to pay these people, and there's just not there's it unless you can find
What are
somebody
you
who's
talking
like,
about?
it. So if you said, hey, whoever medals at Worlds in Greco, we will give you $100,000 for bronze. We will give you $200,000 for silver. We will give you $500,000 for gold. You are going
So
to
you like
have.
pay them more money than they pay like the freestyle guys?
I mean, sure, yeah, even that. It's like, okay, there's a bigger monetary incentive for Greco. You're gonna have. You're not gonna have. It's not like everybody's gonna jump ship from freestyle to Greco, but you are going to have more participation in it. You aren't seeing RTCs in colleges bring on Greco athletes because it doesn't benefit the college because Greco is not as close to folk style as freestyle is to folk style. So there's a lot of things that are moving against Greco, and yeah, so
Dude,
and
did you know in
it all
Japan
comes down to money.
they don't even let you wrestle Greco until like you're like a teenager or I don't remember how you like a lot of these guys who are wrestling Greco in Japan have not wrestled Greco for like that long. But they have good success. I mean,
What are they doing?
how do you explain that, man?
Yeah, what are they doing over there? Are they better incentivized? Are they training hard? What are they doing?
I mean, I think you have guys who are more well-rounded martial artists or guys who just you're going to understand how to use your body, right? If you are into sports and martial arts in the country of Japan, probably. I don't know, but I'm going to say probably.
I don't know.
And so like if that's the case, then the translation from doing anything or doing any level of wrestling to Greco, just from how they train and being an athlete in that country, it's probably going to translate more easily. Shot in the dark as far as that making sense, but I don't know. Maybe we should ask somebody should tweet at Ray Higuchi and see if he explains it, because he likes to talk to us Americans.
Let's get Ray on here. Let's get Ray on the pod.
Spencer
We've
talked
talked about
about. Did you guys
Right.
listen to the Flo interviewed Spencer? Did you listen to that interview?
I don't
I actually
listen to
didn't.
Flo.
Did
You
not
did,
listen
Sammy?
to that one. I
No.
didn't. No.
He talked about when he was in Japan, their practices and how they like basically do like every 3 minutes they switch partners and then they like build. They go from like drilling and like a third, like it's like drilling and then sparring and then live. But
Yeah.
they switch partners every 3 minutes. I guess that's like their main. That's how they train. And you wrestle with like anybody at any weight basically, and girls or guys.
Interesting.
No weight restrictions, and they like know how to
Yeah.
not
That
hurt
could
each
be
other.
that at a certain level that could be a problem. If you have a bunch of elementary kids doing that, somebody's going to get hurt.
What's the
Yeah, for
science?
sure.
I'd love to see the science behind that. Like, why is that the?
Why is that making them successful? Or you know what I mean? Like,
Do you
How is
think
that
what if they just put a ruse on for Spencer? Like, yeah, we change partners every 3 minutes, and we.
I think that every time, dude. I feel like I'm so paranoid at this point. I just automatically think that about everything now. It's
You're just like, no way.
yeah.
That would
Like
be crazy.
today. Today I had the same thought when a certain something happened.
oh,
Oh,
pew 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 pew.
Yes. 4.
They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. I saw it on TV.
right, yeah.
I've been shot at once again.
I forgot. Honestly, I forgot that happened because
They're in the trees.
Katie said it, and I was like,
in the
It's a sand trap.
He was camouflaged in the sand. I couldn't see him. He missed me, but he got my ball, and the ball was going in the hole. I think it counts as an eagle.
All right.
you guys are great.
Yeah, thank you. All right, fellas. I need to hop off though.
Okay, all right.
Not a
Well, hey, this is a
problem.
fun podcast.
Good.
Go take care of your child and enjoy your night. Hey,
Maybe
thanks for
lemon.
listening. Thanks for
See you this
listening,
Friday.
everybody. Yeah,
Sammy.
you two will see each other this Friday.
Sammy,
Reese-
see you
Reese-
never.
Reese, I'll see
Yeah,
you
never.
in like half a month, and yeah, I'll see Ryan whenever. Thanks for listening to this episode. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Have a good one, and goodbye.